Rise and grind, y'all. Yeah. Turn your doubters into fans and your haters to cheerleaders. So that's what today's topic is. And I kind of want to start with a little story. Those of y'all that know me know that I did some time. I was in prison. And these are topics that I will get into in some of these videos. But I just kind of want to ease into it. But this story's kind of been on my heart and I want to share it, and I think people can relate. So I did 3 years. I got out November 2nd of last year. So I just took a year of being out Saturday. So the story, right, is about my PO. When I got out, it's somebody you have to report to when you're on supervision. So I had to see him every week because I'm what they consider a high risk. So I go in to see him the first time and he goes, well, what's your plan? What do you got going on? I said, well, listen, I'm just going to get to know my family again. And then I plan to start a company. And he was kind of like, okay, I've heard this before, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, listen, I'm not trying to convince you, but I'll just prove it to you. You know what I mean? So, he was like, well, I'm gonna need to see you every week. And I said, that's fine. Let's keep in touch. So I go back the next week and I bring him my state registry, for my business. Me and my wife had started. And he kind of raised his eyebrow and he was like, okay, well, I'm still gonna need to see you every week. And I was like, that's fine. So I come back the next week and I bring him our CCB number and our license and bonding and all that. And he was like, okay, well, okay, I see you've been busy this week. I said, yeah, man, I tried, that works for me. I got to stay busy. So he said, well, I'll see you next week. I said, okay, no problem. So, and he always asks me, what'd you do this week? Whenever I show up to his office. So I show up the next week and he says, what'd you do this week? And I pull out a t-shirt and a business card for him, for our company. And I said, I've been busy. What have you done this week? And he was kind of like, you know what, Mr. Jones, I don't need to see you anymore. You're not one of my clients that I need to worry about. So anyway, and full circle, Washington County had contacted me last week. And they want me to go speak to men who are just getting out and released and stuff, and can use some encouragement and inspiration. And so, that story is something I've been wanting to share because right out of the gate, I was doubted and, people didn't think I could do it. And for me, that's motivation. And I feel like for successful people, it is, when people doubt you, that's like the number one driver is when somebody tells you can't do something. Call it rebellion, call it what you want. But I definitely have that. So, I just encourage everybody to live your truth. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. It's just life's too short. And the best way to prove people wrong is just win. Just win. You don't even have to say nothing. When they see you, they know you're winning. You don't have to say nothing. So, anyway, live your truth, do you, and, turn your doubters into fans and your haters into cheerleaders. Stay hungry, rise and grind every day. Have a good week.